The third of our three methods for expanding double brackets is the grid method. Now hopefully you like the example on part 4, and hopefully you've watched one of either the inspection method or the column method to help round out your skills. We'll now go through the same examples using the grid method. So, how does the grid method work? Well, it works just like for multiplication, where you split the numbers, multiply the parts, and add them together. So, our first pair of brackets. So we set up our grid. What do you think goes where? X and plus 3 go here, or down here. It doesn't matter which way around you put them. And x plus 5. I'd advise you to put the positives in here because you want to make sure you remember if it's positive or negative. Now, x multiplied by x goes in here. X multiplied by 3 goes in here. 5 multiplied by x goes in here. And 5 multiplied by 3 goes in here. And when I add these together, I can see that these two will simplify, which gives me x squared plus 8x plus 15. So let's do another. By all means, pause the video and try it yourself if you wish. So x and plus 2. I know I went along here last time, but I'm just showing you that it makes no difference. Multiply the 4 pairs together. So that's x squared, 6x, two x, and 12. There are my two that I can simplify together. There we go. Now this is often a favoured method for students, so I would strongly recommend you learn this and one other. So now with a negative, okay. Let me talk you through those. X times x is x squared. X times 5 is 5x. Minus 2 times x is minus 2x. And then minus 2 times 5 is minus 10. And if in doubt, do a check. 5 times 2 is 10. So 5 times minus 2 is minus 10. These two here are the ones that will simplify. They won't always be diagonal, it just happens to have worked out that way so far, so be aware of that. And let's get the result. 5 take away 2 leaves me 3x. So hopefully by now you're starting to feel a little bit more confident. We've got 3 more we're going to look at. So, if you want to have a go at them, by all means pause the video and try. It's really important that you get your negative signs from the brackets into your grid. If you don't do that, you will find it goes wrong. -9 times -3, so let's just do a check. That's 27, so that's -27 when you change one of them. When I change the other one, it has to go back, so that's +27. So that leaves my answer as x squared. -3 and -9 makes -12 plus 27. Okay, what does squared mean? Well, 3 squared means 3 times 3. So what does x plus 6 squared mean? It means x plus 6 times x plus 6. So both sides of our grid will be the same. Be careful here. In your head be saying x times x makes this, x times 6 makes this, 6 times x makes this, and 6 times 6 makes this. Otherwise, you're going to accidentally write 12 here and add them. Hopefully by now you're starting to feel really confident. Not much more to do on this topic. So now we've got some different terms. And you'll notice we have the x is the second term. So make sure you get your signs correct. Okay. 10 times 2x, 10 times 5. Because this is a different way around, I'm talking it out loud. That's what you can do in class or at home. 2 times 3 is 6, but it's negative, so it's -6. X times x is x squared. -3 times 5. Well, 3 times 5 is 15, so -3 times 5 is -15x. And now here are the two that will combine. So it's not always the same direction. I put my x squared term first, then my x term, then my number term. How does this work if there are more than two things in a bracket is my last question, and then we're done. So, here's the situation, familiar to some of you I hope, from the previous two parts. So, x and 3 has 2 digits, so it has 2 columns. X, Y, Z, well, that's going to need 3. So x times x, x times y, x times z, 3 times x, 3 times y, 3 times z. Then add the parts together. Now in this case, none of those parts actually add together nicely, so you leave it unsimplified. But the fact there was a third term made no difference. So, 2 terms in 2 brackets, split them along the side, multiply then those pairs together, then add the 4 bits. Some of those 4 bits will combine and simplify. Watch out for squared, because it means the same bracket multiplied together twice. Watch out for negative signs to make sure you get negatives correct. If you need to, write out a little table to help you do the negatives. If you have 3 numbers or 3 things in a bracket, spread it out like so. You now need to practice at least 2 of these 3 methods until you feel comfortable.